Hi, I am RVR. Today you're going to learn reported speech. It is also called directed indirect speech. When you write, when you speak, we badly need reported speech help. Such a wonderful grammar section we are going to learn in today's video lesson. Let's go on learn.
Welcome back to RVR English YouTube channel. Dear friends and students, we are successfully running our YouTube channel with many wide variety of grammar sections. Today you are going to learn reported speech, the most useful grammar section in English language. When you want to report somebody's spoken words to somebody else, we should know how to report it in indirect speech. So this video would help you a lot. Must watch it from the beginning to the ending. Don't skip it. It would help you a lot. Now let's go and learn it. Reported speech is also called direct and indirect speech. We use it to specify the speaker's words of direct speech with quotation marks. As he said, I am a doctor. I am a doctor is spoken by that person, he. In direct speech, we use a sentence like this, comma, quotation marks, or some ending punctuation marks. Further, we use it to report the speaker's spoken words to someone else. In such cases, we report the directly spoken words to someone indirectly as he said that he was a doctor. See, in indirect speech, there are no quotation marks, no other punctuation marks except full stop. This kind of speaking directly and indirectly is called reported speech or direct and indirect speech. Now let's learn thoroughly with the rules and regulations and some model sentences. Okay, friends and students, see the picture. There is a boy, his name is Ravi. Ravi said, I want to be a doctor. Who wants to be a doctor? Ravi wants to be a doctor. Who said these words? Ravi. That means Ravi spoke these words directly to me or somebody else. Now, you or I or somebody would report the Ravi words to somebody else, means third person, like this. Ravi said that he wanted to be a doctor. See the change, see the difference between direct and indirect speech. Okay, this is the way of reporting the directly spoken words to third person in indirect speech. When we want to change direct speech into indirect speech, we should follow the following rules. I specified direct sentence and its rules with the colors. Ravi said it is reporting speech. I want to be a doctor. It is called reported speech. Said is a reporting verb. These three parts are very important to do indirect speech or when you want to change direct into indirect. Reporting speech, reported speech, reporting verb. Firstly, identify the reporting speech. Ravi said. It's very important. Speaker. Who is the speaker of the sentence? Ravi. Listener. Is there listener? Listener is not here given, but you could understand because speaker always speaks to somebody else. If there is no somebody else, you should put him or her or me. So he, she, me or listeners. On reporting verb tense said. What is the reporting verb tense? Said. Say, said means V2 past tense. These are very, very important rules you should know when you want to change direct into indirect sentence. Next, combine the reporting speech and reported speech with the appropriate conjunctions. There are 4 conjunctions you could use: that, if, whether, WH words and TO2. Only these 4 sentences, these 4 conjunctions could be used in indirect speech. Appropriate pronouns in place of speaker and listeners. As we know very well, I, we are always speakers. So I becomes he, she. We becomes they. Same, you, subject, he, she. If there is you, immediately you should use he, she, because we should use third persons in indirect speech, not first and second persons. If it is demanded, except you should not use. My becomes his, her. Our becomes their. Your becomes his, her. Okay, more important. Don't use direct speech punctuation marks except full stop in indirect speech. Follow these tips to do well reported speech. DS means direct speech. IS means indirect speech. See, observe carefully. Say, no change. Say to becomes tell. Says, tells. Says, says. Says to becomes tells. Said, said. Direct speech and indirect speech. Said to becomes told. Said with the question mark reported speech, it becomes asked. Said exclamation in reported speech, it becomes exclaimed. Okay, more important, note down in notes and practice. Some more rules we should learn when we wanted to change direct into indirect speech. For example, this. If you see this in direct speech, you have to change it into that. These become those. Here becomes there. Hence becomes thence. Now becomes then. Ago becomes before. Today becomes the today. Tomorrow becomes the following day, the next day also. Yesterday becomes the previous day, last night, month, year, whatever that is. Immediately you should use the previous month, the previous night, the previous week, the previous year. Like this, immediately you should change into indirect speech. Practice, write down into notebook, and keep in mind when you do this direct indirect speech. Tense changing is also very, very important. Dear students, practice this direct and indirect speech. Tense change. Simple present tense changes into simple past. Present continuous changes into past continuous. Present perfect changes into past perfect. Simple past changes into past perfect. Past continuous changes into past continuous or past perfect continuous tense. And shall, will, can, may, must. Shall becomes should, will become would, can becomes could, may becomes might, must becomes had to or must. Sometimes you could use it in indirect speech. Yeah, please note down this rule also into your notebook and practice hard until you understand, until you use it fluently. And this table also very, very important. Direct speech, indirect speech. I becomes he, she. Me becomes him, her. My becomes his, her. We becomes they. Our becomes their. You becomes he, she. Your becomes his, her. He, she, it. He, she, it. And names same, no change. And if you practice this table, dear students, you could understand the lessons also. Because some of the lessons are written in first person I, second person you, or some ways. But questions are asked with the third persons. Therefore, whenever you see I or me, my, we like this, immediately change it to third persons. Then you could do well, understand your lessons also. But in this section, write down into notebook and practice well until you understand the change of direct and indirect speech. Okay, and if you have any problem of understanding using tense understanding traditional way, I give you tip. If there is V1, changes into V2. If there is V2, just add had plus V3. Once again, if there is V1, changes into V2. And if there is V2 in direct speech, use had plus V3. Then it becomes easy. So all V1s becomes V2s. And if there is V2, immediately add had plus V3. Then it becomes easy to you, very easy tip to you. Without knowing any tense name also, you could do well. She said, I am a nurse. See, she said that she was a nurse. See, am became V2, was. Did you observe? If there is a have, it becomes had. Do becomes did. Will becomes would. Can becomes could. Like this, just change V1 into V2. And if you see V2 in a reported speech, immediately add had plus V3. Then it becomes easy. Easy tip for you.
Okay, students and friends, I think you understood it well. If you don't understand, replay and watch it again until you understand it. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe our channel. Let's meet in another useful video lesson. Until bye-bye.